But wow, what a Saturday in general. The fight we got in the afternoon for us East Coasters, um, and the fight at night on ESPN Top Rank. Wow, I don't want to say upsets because depending how you looked at the Fury Usyk fight, I mean that really was either way. I had picked Usyk by decision, and then we saw last night Dennis Berinchyk gets, man, which I'm surprised with the scorecards. I thought they were going to give it to Navarrete, even though I thought Berinchyk won the fight. But when they read the scorecards, I was like, wow. So 2 stunners yesterday. Depending how you look at the Fury Usyk fight, which I'm really, it's going to be my focus on this video. But wow, one of the great heavyweight fights in recent years, man, as far as just the back and forth. But Oleksandr Usyk becomes a 2-time undisputed champion, first undisputed heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis, as he defeats Tyson Fury by split decision. And a fight that, again, went back and forth early on. Usyk, you could see he was landing those leads to the body. I think the goal from Usyk's end was to really tire out Fury as the fight pressed on. And they went and attacked the body. And then Fury seemed to kind of begin to measure his distance. And then you started to see it become a little more difficult for Usyk as he was starting to get hit with these like little surprise uppercuts that Fury was starting to land. And at one point, Usyk looked like he buckled a little bit. And, from that point, you're thinking, oh, shit, here we go. But the thing that strikes me with Usyk, and we've seen this in other fights, is he's been hit before. And then, you could argue, that whole body shot with Daniel Dubois and everything. The thing that really struck me is that he stuck to a game plan. He stuck to his guns, and little by little, he started making these adjustments. And the shot that I think changed the course of the fight for him, but for Fury, was he was looking for like this looping left hand. When Fury would kind of lean in, he hit it at a point it landed. And when it landed, you could see, like, it almost looked like he broke his nose. I don't know, like, I can't confirm that. But you started to see Fury started going like this, and then it was just a barrage. And then Usyk took over from that point. So it was like a swing kind of fight, man. Usyk won those early rounds. Fury adjusted, and then Usyk adjusted. But then he dropped him. And when the scorecards were read, I was thinking like, oh man, which way are they gonna go? But I didn't have like a sheet of how I was scoring it, but I had Usyk up by 2 rounds, like from my memory, and that knockdown was the key. So if at anything, a 115, 113, no, well, with the knockdown, it's I get 115, 112 or 114, 130. I had him by a round, but I also gave him the point because he scored the knockdown. If you had it by 1 or 2 rounds, I mean, I think that's pretty fair. But Usyk, man, he put on a show. He put on a show, and look, that's not to say Fury didn't fight really good. I mean, again, there were points in the middle rounds of those fights where I felt Fury was starting to take over, and then it was really the game of like, all right, can Usyk make adjustments? And he did. And him landing that looping left hand really changed the course of the fight. And look, depending what referee you had in there could have been a situation where they stopped the fight. And, there could have been controversy, obviously. Oh, why'd you stop the fight? But I think the ref wanted to give Fury the benefit of the doubt. Like, this is a big fight. I think if Usyk had really like laid him out like flat on his back and he wasn't getting up, I think the ref probably would have called the fight there. But they called the knockdown based on the fact that Fury went against the ropes from a punch, which technically is a knockdown. So, if the ropes are holding you up. So, but needless to say, man, great fight. Better fight than, I'll be honest with y'all, I was expecting, because I felt that most people, they go into these fights like, it's a heavyweight championship fight and you're going to see like just blood and guts and stuff like that. But I felt that the style matchup potentially would have been maybe for the non-pundits, they would have found it a little like, non-dramatic, but it really wasn't that at all, like at all. Both guys went at it. Both guys took risks, and one guy is just, it's not to say that Fury's still not a good fighter. That's the thing. I mean, Fury on that night, I felt could have beat a lot of other heavyweights, to be honest with you. It's just Usyk is a special fighter, man. I think we got to start calling him that. And when we start talking about pound for pound number one status, look, I'm not going to sit here and argue with people about who they have number one, but at this stage, Usyk is a former undisputed cruiserweight champion. He went up to heavyweight, and he's fought two guys, two of the three that have been noted as the top heavyweights, it's AJ, Fury, and Wilder. He's beaten two of those three, and one of them twice. And again, he's fought the guys that he's already fought up to this point, and now he's undisputed heavyweight champion. I mean, y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. I mean, if you were to put him number one, man, I am not gonna argue with you. Like it's hard at this point. You know what I'm saying? Let alone he beat a guy that outweighed him by like 40 something pounds, who's a skilled guy. It's not like just he beat this gargantuan guy that has no method. He beat a damn good fighter that was much bigger than him, and he beat him off skill, and let alone he hurt him. So, I've talked to people this morning that have put Usyk at number one, and they've had Crawford number two and Inoue number three, and any of those three, to be honest with you, like, have at it. But if you were to argue Usyk's number one status, man, I'm not gonna argue with you. It's really hard at this point, man. I mean, two-time undisputed champion. You have 2 wins over Anthony Joshua. You have a win over Tyson Fury, who are the last 2 heavyweight champions, and you beat them both. I mean, again, outside of Wilder, but Fury already beat Wilder like twice, arguably 3 times. Depending how you saw the first fight. But wow, what a night. Well, over there. But we have a new undisputed heavyweight champion for the first time since Lennox Lewis, and his name is Oleksandr Usyk, man. What a performance. And this speaks a lot too about the mental makeup of a fighter, where there's times where fighters they fall under adversity, and that tests the true merit of what they really got. We could talk about the skill set and we could talk about all that stuff, but there is that something in you that you got to bring out at times that you can't teach in the gym, and Usyk showed that. He stuck to his guns, and he didn't give up on the game plan, and it paid off for him. and again, no, it's no downside to Tyson Fury either, man. Tyson Fury, I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. Tyson Fury and AJ is still going to be a monstrosity of a fight, okay? When you talk about dollars and you talk about people that are going to show up for that fight, are you kidding me? So, being that Fury had the performance that he had anyway, he didn't get dominated. And I think for him, that paid off well, because now he can still go into the AJ fight and that still be a big fight. Trust me, man. That fight, and from the reports I saw this morning, I don't feel they're going to rematch Usyk if at right away. They're going after the AJ fight. Why? Because it financially makes sense. They could do that fight in the UK, and it's, like I said, it's going to be a monstrosity of a pay-per-view or of an event, or period. And we're all going to watch it. Are you kidding me? That the lead up for that's going to be crazy. But now with Oleksandr Usyk at 37 years old, what do you do? He said he wants to fight to he's 40. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, he's still a damn good fighter, man. And I guess it's really, with what's there right now, it's really a run of the mill. Who do you fight? You know what I'm saying? Like you got Wilder fighting Jared Anderson August 3rd, and he's fighting Zhang. Does he fight like a Wilder or somebody like that? Like, y'all tell me how that fight turns out, you know? But other than that, man, I don't know if there's any real dragons to slay. Fury, to me, was the one. But, like, if you really look at the landscape of the heavyweight division, I don't know. Like, y'all tell me. I really don't know. I think he really, if Usyk retired, I don't think anybody would be like, oh, man, you're ducking this dude or whatever. Like, I don't think there's really any more dragons to slay, so to speak. Unless there's guys that are going to be coming up from cruiserweight. But, like, even at that, then it's like they got to build that up. And at 37, does he want to fight another 3 years and wait for, like, a big challenge? I don't know. You know, he had a great performance last night. So, but other than that, man, wow. I was very impressed with Oleksandr Usyk and with Tyson Fury, too. They both came to fight. And we got treated to one of the great heavyweight fights, man, that I feel we're going to remember for a little while, man. Just a lot of action, a lot of swings back and forth. It's all we can ask for, really, to be honest with you. So congrats to Oleksandr Usyk, new undisputed heavyweight champion. So let me know, what do you see next for Fury? I mean, that AJ fight just seems like it makes the most sense. And with Usyk, I think it's just kind of scoping the landscape and seeing, you know, I guess if he gets a couple title defenses or whatever, but for how long, you know, how long does he want to fight for? But that's pretty much it, man. Like I said, Dennis Berinchyk defeats Emmanuel Navarrete, becomes the new WBO lightweight champion. I think this really puts things into an interesting perspective when you consider the likes of Lomachenko, Tank, and Shakur, and for Bob Arum and Top Rank to really do good by Vasily Lomachenko, I really feel they should target the winner of June 15th, which Tank should be the favorite in that fight against Frank Martin. But if Tank wins that fight, I think you got to give Lomachenko that opportunity to get into a big fight, into a big money fight. And I don't think anybody wants to see Lomachenko and Berinchyk. And I think they got a relationship together. I think they train together, whatever. But needless to say, I think Loma's at a stage right now where he needs those bright lights. And I don't think on like a big stage he's ever had that. And I still think that's a big fight for both of them. So I guess we'll see how that maps out now, and then I guess if Shakur, his involvement is kind of put into the mix, because I mean, look, if you're Lomachenko and you're his team, like, y'all tell me, like, what fight do you feel like Lomachenko and team would rather pursue in the immediate, a Gervonta Davis fight or Shakur Stevenson fight? You know, it just makes dollars and makes sense, and I'm a big Shakur fan, but it just is what it is, you know. So, but that's pretty much it, man. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the fight. Where does Fury go from here? I have a feeling of where he's gonna go, and then with the Usyk, that's really the question mark. Where does Usyk go from here? So, enjoy you guys Sunday. I am out. Peace.